Adelaide, the greatest city in the world. It's time to wake up with the team born and bred right here in South Australia. The unofficial Mayor of Adelaide, AFL legend and Yabby peeling record holder, Mark Rasciuto. The former squash champ and current B-grade golf champ, Chris Didmar. And the award-winning radio host who's the dumbest smart person you know, Laura O'Callaghan.
It's
Triple M Breakfast with Roo, Dits and Loz.
Oh, hello, everybody. Tuesdays can be ho-hum, but not right here on Triple M.
No,
it's
I
going
like
to be
Tuesdays.
magnificent. Tex Walker's
Underrated.
coming in. Hey, Roo's Sassy Sexpert's coming back today, Loz.
Yes,
Hang on,
Wala.
what do you mean mine?
Well, because last week she talked all about your, manhood.
Bits and pieces.
Yeah, I felt like you've got a bit of a thing.
Well, you went to school with Wala, and she's
that's right.
she's a Wala Truscott. She's a sexpert. She is a bit of an intimacy guidance sort of person, and we're going to ask her some questions about the spark. What happens when it disappears in a long-term
I reckon
relationship?
most people from 40 onwards probably need a little bit of advice.
I
Blokes.
know people under 40 who've just been together for like 10 years, and they've just become sort of like roommates.
Going through
They
the
still love
motions.
each other,
Yeah.
but, they just need a little bit of fire back, I think.
We need just a little reminder about
All right.
how to
Yeah.
get
Well,
the
you've
spark.
come to the right place.
Yeah. Shocking, I know.
Tex's ears will be pricked with that one.
They always are a little bit, aren't they,
Yes,
Tex's
exactly.
ears?
That's where I was heading there. And the rumour mill is back, so let's have a big show.
Triple M's Roo, Dits and Loz for breakfast.
Win big by servicing at Peter Kittle Toyota, Para Hills West. T's and C's apply.
I have some exciting news.
What news?
You are fake news.
Well, that's good news.
Triple M Breakfast with Roo, Dits and Loz.
Overnight news.
Well, there's a lot of overnight news around today. We're going to get through them as quick as we can. Firstly, there could be a heap more blackouts coming this summer. We didn't discuss this in the pre-meeting show, but Australia, New South Wales and Victoria, because they're waiting for the big extension cord.
Apparently it's our fault.
Yeah, because we're meant to have an extension cord. This is how we're running the country. Our
Oh, I think
It
I
is
might be
a
using
disgrace.
that extension.
Yeah,
cord.
exactly.
Pass it around.
Yeah.
When you finish with
So
it,
I don't
you
have PowerPoints and like,
you got to give it the neighbour.
Sorry.
Yeah, so get used to that. That won't send power bills up much either.
No,
I'm looking forward to. They're talking about the southeastern freeway intersection. What's it best described as? It's the corner of Cross Road, Port Rush Road, southeastern freeway.
Glen Osmond Road.
Yeah, Glen Osmond Road, that's it. They're saying that $200 million is required to fix it. They're going to have to move.
How?
Oh, it's so
Why
much
so
money.
much? Why so much?
They reckon a third arrestor bed's not going to work because trucks won't go in it.
Yeah.
They're going to move traffic down Cross Road a couple of hundred metres.
Yeah.
Maybe move traffic up the southeastern freeway to try and make sure that when people
So you
are
stop
parked,
sooner. Yeah.
you can't drive into them. Or they must be going to keep the left lane free, and if they go through there, they prang into a bloody wall again, and but not hit cars.
There have been shocking prangs there over the years. Really bad.
Well, we were very lucky last week.
Yeah, trucks coming down, turning right into Port Rush Road. There's that kind of order. They're just cambering. They're leaning that way, aren't they? That they could roll into traffic.
And the truck last week was going left.
Yeah, I know. It's scary.
There's something wrong with the whole bloody thing,
Yeah,
isn't there?
yeah, it is indeed. Hey, have you heard of an Asian murder hornet?
No.
Sounds scary, doesn't it?
A plane or
No, it's a type of bee. But
Oh, no, not
these
bees.
have taken
Sounds-
over the UK, and they're scary because they kill 50 bees in an instant. They can go through a beehive and just knock off a heap of bees, which is dangerous for all of us. We need bees. Anyway,
Big
so
time.
we're on alert about if they ever came here, but also if they sting a human, it's shocking. So one guy's reported if they sting it. So this bloke's arm within
a
a minute.
bee.
He was in
Kill a
agony,
bee.
and his whole arm went.
Where'd they come from? Where have they been for the last 50 years?
Oh, well, they're called Asian murder hornets. They must have come out of Southeast Asia, I think.
What, and they've just flown over the border? Can you do a bit
They're on
more
the move.
research on that?
They're on
Just
the move.
Google
Googled
them.
them.
Well, at the moment, it's the UK that's concerned, right? It is happening in the UK, and there's a national campaign out to try and eradicate them. But they're just saying if ever they were to migrate
Wow.
here,
There
Let's
was a
hope they
bee
don't.
on
Not
my
good.
bed yesterday.
well, we're
actually.
closer to Southeast
Let's
Asia
hope
than
they
the
don't
UK.
fly over to Australia.
We
They're
know
very
we're a lot,
close to
we're a lot
us.
closer.
How'd they get to London? Kentucky.
Probably on a plane.
Good flyers.
Yeah, they're doing Kentucky, I know.
Asian
Boat
murder.
people, they
Yeah.
jumped on a boat, Loz.
Well, they could have done that. I mean, it could have been in, well, this is why we have fruit people watching at the borders for things.
Could have been on someone's shoe.
Yeah, that's exactly. I had a bee on my quilt yesterday when I got home. I went, how did you get there? And he was just sort of dying. He was just like at the end of his life.
Yeah.
And
Just stung someone.
But, well, I always just think if there's a bee, then there's probably a hive somewhere. You know, you just start thinking, where'd you come from? Did you come from the roof? Are you in the walls?
I'll have a bee in my bonnet in a minute.
Oh,
Stop.
Julian I think I've got a bee in my throat. Julian Assange. God love us, what a mess. He's currently in London. He's trying to not be extradited back to Sweden and the US because he's going to face charges as soon as he arrives for leaking documents about the government and their war crimes. Ha ha ha. Anyway, basically, he's been told you're allowed to appeal. You can stay in London. You can prepare a new trial, a new case, because they don't feel that he's going to be. They feel there's going to be prejudice when he gets to the US, that he's not going to have a fair trial. So he might be able to get out of it. And they're also saying that world leaders have come out and they're all starting to say, just let him go, just stop it.
Pamela Anderson's still in love with him?
No, he's
she got
married
a bit
to
bored.
someone
She
else.
dropped
now.
off, did she?
Yeah, he was flavour of the
She was supporting him for a while.
Yeah.
They need the sassy sexpert.
They
those
do.
two.
Bring the spark back.
And yesterday, one of our former most wanted men in Australia got arrested. And just in case they didn't know who he was, guess what he's got tattooed on his back?
What?
Most wanted man.
Oh,
Oh, really?
He got a big tattoo on his
as
back.
advertised.
Yeah, he's a former bank robber, arm robber, Brett Maston. So
Where'd they find him?
Well, he cut off his bloody ankle bracelet, so they tracked him down.
Rookie mistake.
I think he's done anyway. He's sort
Yeah.
of passed it and realised he stuffed his whole life up. And
The
Not
bank
that
robberies
dangerous
are a
anymore.
thing of the past, really, aren't they? Because everyone's
no cash.
We don't deal
Yeah.
in cash anymore.
I kind of not miss it, but they were.
It's very. I'm with you.
You know
What's
what
the
I mean?
movie? Two Hands.
Yeah, two hands.
Shotguns are good.
Yep.
That's one of the favourite.
Point Break, where they all wear the president's mask.
Good morning to all the poor bank tellers this
No,
morning who've been
of
traumatised.
course.
Bring back bank
I-
robberies.
I do feel
whiz.
sorry for them,
I
but
apologise on behalf of my two co-hosts here to
it's
those
very
that
Australian.
have been through
There
it.
was just look, and no one. A lot of the times, the guns weren't even loaded. They were just
that
for
makes
show.
a big difference. Yeah.
Oh, you haven't romanticised about the great bookie robbery and things like that?
Oh, I've always wanted to be Ronald Biggs for sure. Yeah.
Bloody oath.
If only I could have knocked off a gold bullion train
Mate,
or
if
something.
Times are tough. You got to
Yeah.
do what you got to do.
Haven't lived, have I?
What are you going to do now? Steal an ATM machine? Huh?
Tits puts him in. He doesn't steal.
Paywave?
Triple M's Roo, Dits and Loz for breakfast.
Oh, it's time to work. What's everyone giggling for? We're just getting you in the mood.
Gee.
Just want to get you in the mood with a bit of sax.
Does that get you in the mood, does it?
Well,
Bit of Kenny G.
there you go.
Good Lord.
Hey, come on. This is
Very
a serious
Very
topic.
serious.
We've got our Sassy Sexpert on the line who went through high school with Roo. She learnt everything in the schoolyard with Roo, apparently.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get online. Good morning, Wala.
Good morning.
What are we talking about today?
Losing the spark in long-term relationships.
Okay.
Yes.
What happens when we lose the spark? What advice have you got?
Maybe not necessarily advice, but maybe looking at your ability to cultivate and maintain erotic friction and sexual tension.
Erotic friction.
Oh, God.
My God.
Now, I think the biggest mistake that people make here is they think that that is actually physical or the special cuddles.
Yeah.
But what it is your ability to engage with your partner's erotic mind
How do you do that?
by not contaminating it and leading it straight to the bedroom.
Right. So what do you do to make sure you don't contaminate it?
Remember when you first met your partner, like before you actually were in an intimate relationship, you would have done a lot of flirting. When you're in a long-term relationship, you become comfortable, and comfort kills the passion.
Right.
Okay.
So you got to keep thinking about it.
Exciting.
So we get lazy, is what you're saying?
You absolutely become complacent in an intimate relationship once you become long-term and committed.
Well, I'm not joking. Ditz is writing notes.
Taking notes. Speak a bit slower. Please. All right.
Do you know how to spell
I've just
complacent?
spoken erotic friction. I've just written.
Yeah. Now, can I ask? Some people like being surprised with a little bit of a, not necessarily in the bedroom. Some people don't like it. How do you know what kind of
Are you
partner you've got?
Are you talking about spontaneity?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Right, so it's only spontaneous if there is erotic friction and sexual tension. If you don't have enough of the flirty fun in your relationship, you're just merely being opportunistic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so if you're being opportunistic, don't be surprised if you get stink eye for it.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? Because it's brutal.
Yeah. Yes, coming out of nowhere and it's just like, go away. What are you doing?
But you know, if you haven't sort of done this sort of thing for a couple of years, right, and then all of a sudden you think, I'll try and reintroduce the spa. Well, you know, some people do get into a real rut, don't they? So you think, all right, I'm going to turn this or I'm going to... But wouldn't you, Mrs. sort of look at you and go, what the hell are you doing?
Well, my advice is to start subtly.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? So if you come in with the left hook and you try to grab a boob or slap someone's ass, it ain't going to work.
Can I ask what you think about appointment making for special cuddles? Because I know people who, they've got kids, they've got busy lives, and they have an appointment every week to get the job done. Do you recommend that, or do you think that leads to weird sort of clinical wham, bam, thank you, ma'am sort of behaviour?
Look, everyone's relationship is going to have different sets of circumstances, and some things are going to work for some relationships and some things are going to work and not going to work. I never need people to agree or disagree with me. You got to figure out what works for you, and you got to design the relationship that best works for you and no one else.
It makes sense that you got to put a bit of effort into it, doesn't it? I mean, most things in life, if you're going to be successful or long-lasting or good at it, you got to put a bit of groundwork in, do a bit of homework, and...
Well, that's a great segue into when you're really passionate about something, you do concentrate on it, you focus on it, you put in a lot of effort, and then you look at your partner and you're like, do you want it? And you're like, not really.
Yeah. Can you think of any examples with some of your clients, obviously not revealing anyone, but where they have little things that they've done, tricks they've employed to sort of turn it around a little bit?
Depending on the relationship, I will say to long-term couples, don't do any of the arousing touch outside of the bedroom.
Okay.
Oh.
Keep that really intimate and affectionate and, you know, where you're connecting on a loving level, and then keep the erotic stuff for the bedroom, because if you are trying to grab a boob or slap an ass, then you're contaminating it.
Right. So when you're not in the bedroom...
So some people love that. So it's never going to be one size fits all, but just keeping it like a clear boundary around, so that because I did a survey and 80% of men said they wish their partners touched them more. And 80% of women said, I wish I could touch my partner without it leading to the bedroom.
Oh. Okay.
Where do you go to learn new tricks, Wala? Like new ideas and everything for a bloke who, might not scroll the internet too much. If you're talking about trying to get the erotic friction up a little bit more.
Where do you go?
Where to go is your ability to be able to subtly play with your partner's erotic mind. So that's where you come and have a chat with me and I'll help you out.
How do they get in touch with the Sassy Sexpert?
You can stalk me on all the socials.
What, under what title?
Just under my name, Wala Truscott.
Wala Truscott.
All right.
I think your page might be
advice.
blowing up today, Wala.
All right. Thanks, Wala. We'll talk next week.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Triple M's Roo, Dits and Loz for breakfast.
Sports Card World, the specialists in sports cards and trading card games. Sports Card World, Region Arcade, Rundle Mall.
Triple M breakfast with Roo, Dits and Loz.
What a goal!
Overnight sports.
Roo, a blow for Isaac Rankin. The Star Crow will miss up to 3 weeks with that hamstring strain.
Yeah, unless we go and see the port doctor and then we'll bring it back to one, as you said yesterday. But no, it looks... bad news, and looked like he did it, in the game. So got to get him right. He's been in great form, and he's got to freshen up and come back in the second half of the year and have another great season.
Yeah, assistant coach Nathan Van Berlo says he leaves a big hole.
Win the footy, hit the scoreboard, and he's been doing that for weeks on end now for us. So it's going to be a big loss for us in the interim. But I guess all we can do is hope that he comes back fresh and ready to go and attack the remainder of the year for us.
Yeah, indeed. Good player and exciting when he's out there. Now, Roo, this story, I know you would have told us first if there was anything in this. Adelaide reportedly have their eyes on West Coast midfielder Elliot Yeo. But as I said, you would have told us if that was
our
happening.
eyes on him if he plays against us this week.
Very good. Let's hear from reporter Ryan Daniels.
Grows are at the front of the queue. They showed some interest in him last year. sort of got told, no, we're not interested. But they've come again, and they've seen a bit of a window here because it's got to round 11 and there's still no contract signed by Elliot Yeo. So my understanding of the deal and the way it's structured is it's probably going to end up around that sort of $2.7 million mark over the course of 3 years. I can assure you this is from multiple contacts on this one.
Elliot Yeo in the Crows midfield.
Obviously, I'm not going to say anything, and you know that. But numerous people at the football club have said that the club is looking to add experience and age and polish to our list. So that's all I'll say. And what the other thing I will say, there's always numbers bandied around. There's always length of term bandied around.
Yep.
There's names bandied around, and they're not always right.
Okay, Will Hayward's been mentioned, obviously. Channel 7 last night said you'd offered Errol Goulden from the Swans 10 years. Just 10 years for Errol Goulden.
Is that the first you heard that, is it?
No, but they were expanding on it. Obviously one of the very, very good players. Our own Adrian Jarman yesterday mentioned Tim English.
Tim English?
All-Australian ruckman.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
No, that's all for so far.
Okay.
How old's Elliot Yeo?
30.
30, okay. Anyway, that's all you're going to say?
What do you want me to say?
No, you've said enough. I reckon we've got a headline there, as it is, to be honest.
Read between the lines.
Yeah. Youngster Josh Sin had surgery on a broken collarbone yesterday. Feel for this young fella. He's just worked his way back into
Needs
the
a bit of
side.
luck.
But he reckons he's got time on his side.
I've had a pretty bad run, but I guess everyone goes through their ups and downs in their career, and I guess I'm still so young in my career. There's so much footy ahead of me. So, a bit of bad luck, I reckon.
Yeah, good luck to him. Ollie Wines is expected to face North Melbourne on Saturday after being subbed out with the heart palpitations.
Yeah, they're saying he's got it under control.
36,000 people had heart palpitations on the weekend. There's no doubt about that. Connor Rosie should be right as well. Zach Butters, what about the fines he's copped out of the weekend?
Got $13,000 worth of fines for two separate incidents. One, an off-the-ball bump on Lloyd Meek, which you've got to be very careful doing that, but he obviously got him in the stomach, not in the head.
Yeah, all right. Elsewhere, Brisbane's Eric Hipwood got a one-game ban. Essendon's Harry Jones also handed a one-game ban for a dangerous tackle. Xander Schauffele celebrating that one-shot win in the PGA Championship over there in the US. And what's happening with an NFL game?
Well, apparently there may well be an American football game coming to the MCG in either next year or the year after. So that would be a first in Australia, but they love going to big stadiums and there's not many better in the world than the MCG.
Create a bit of interest, wouldn't it?
For sure.
Before we move on, I just want to go back to the AFL for a moment, Ruth. Something you've talked a lot about over recent years is the length of football games.
I've talked about this since I retired. I wrote an article for the Advertiser, I reckon, in 2007 or 2008.
Yep. Craig McRae, all of a sudden, has come out on the weekend and appealed to the AFL to look into it. 153 players missed round 10 at the weekend.
And that has happened
he's saying
before, and it does
soft
happen.
tissue and all the stuff associated with it.
Well, the games are getting longer every year. They do not need them to be as long as they are to find out who's the best side on the day.
All right.
Triple M's, Roo, Dits and Loz for breakfast.
Loz, you drove over to the York Peninsula on the weekend. Ditchy went to the Clare Festival, and I've got to drive to Waikerie and back this afternoon. So in South Australia, we all spend a fair bit of time on the roads, and we have some great roads, and we have some roads that need updating. Some are putting in overtaking lanes, some are windy, and some are a little bit dangerous. And there's a footage online today on the Advertiser side about a little Mitsubishi captured on camera overtaking on a hills road. I think it's down near Strathalbyn, and overtaking two cars on a double line, which means you're not meant to overtake.
One car was towing a horse float. So vision was bad. You couldn't see past it.
Well, there was no way it was safe. And it was coming up to a blind corner. They didn't know anyone could have been coming around. It would have been either a head-on or someone would have had to go off the side of the road. It was just deadly. It's just Russian roulette. Ridiculous piece of driving. The person who was doing it just needs to bloody have a good look in the mirror. They are putting their own lives and heaps of other people's at risk.
Any poor person coming the other way around that corner was dead. It was a head-on bang.
Yeah.
And luckily no one did come, but we saw it on the news last night. It was outrageous.
Outrageous. And you see it all the time out there. There's people at the moment that are just too impatient. Then they just feel the need to overtake when they shouldn't. And there's just no need. What are you going to get there? 5 minutes earlier, 10 minutes earlier? You're going to put your own life and other people's lives at risk. You just see some shocking driving out there in the roads. I think it doesn't keep me awake, but I think about it. I've got to drive to Waker today. I worry about, there's truck drivers that are... I don't know, feel like they're not as experienced as they used to be. There's more trucks on the road than there used to be.
Just more people on the roads, and
well, they've shut a lot of the trains down now, and there's a lot more trucks with B doubles or B triples. Yep. A lot of the drivers just haven't got the experience. That's a job that they take now. They're finding it hard to get truckies. So it's bloody dangerous out there. But just the stupidity on the roads. I mean, you guys would have seen it over the years as well. It's just stupid.
Well, in our house, I can tell you, last night watching that on the news, we got angry. It was just, as I said, any poor person coming the other way was gone.
When I go through intersections now, I just do not assume
you can't.
that they're stopping on the other side.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, growing up in the hills, there was a lot of corner cutting, going up Anstey's Hill every day, coming back down for school and stuff. There were people who would drive 50% on the wrong side of the road the whole way down the hill, very cocky, very arrogant. And a lot of these people are actually the people who live in the hills.
Why would they do that? What do you mean, wrong side of the road?
It's just really windy, so they would cut the corner so that they don't have to go around the whole...
If they can see what's not coming?
If they could see, but a lot of the times it was high risk because the corners are so sharp that by the time you've cut the corner, someone's already coming around the next one. And we saw a lot of there were accidents that happened all the time because of that. But even now, living in Torrensville, there's a lot of roads that need roundabouts, these intersections, but they don't have them. And so some of them are give way, some of them aren't. So people are, like on my street, you come down, some of them you give way, some of them it's the other people. So people are confused about whether they're not concentrating, and they've actually put up these big lights. The little billboards that you get, the ones that flash with roadwork stuff. They put them on everyone and go, give way, way. Like that's how extreme it's gotten. Yeah. So there's plenty of people who aren't paying attention.
I was speaking to a lad yesterday. He was doing the right thing in his car, talking to me, but he wasn't. He was on the hands-free, driving on the Sturt Highway, went through Blanchetown. At Blanchetown, there's a service station and there's a road that goes the complete opposite direction. He was coming and the car just went straight through in front of him, which is there's just stuff happening all over the joint. Hopefully, we can get on top of it. But our road toll's been terrible in the last couple of years. Have you been? Have you seen driving like this little Mitsubishi up in the Adelaide Hills? Have you had a close call? Have you been in an accident? Let's go to Rosewater. Bryn, have you seen some action out in the roads?
Oh, I see it daily, Roo. I'm a truck driver, mate. And like this morning I've got 25 tonne of freight on board. I'm driving 5 to 10 k's below the speed limit to give myself better braking distances, but people just cut right in front of me, or if I'm reversing into a place, people cut up the rear of me to get around me.
Are you driving what they call a B double, or is that a single trailer?
No, I'm a single trailer.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, the B doubles around Adelaide, really, those guys are brave, to be perfectly blunt with you, because I'm ex-military police, mate, and I believe that people should have to go and reset their driving skills every 5 years up to a certain age, because it is atrocious out there on the roads.
Do you agree that some of the truckies get their big licences a little bit too easy these days with the B doubles and triples?
Oh, yes, and unfortunately some of our people from overseas, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, but they actually are just thrown into trucks without any actual proper training. It should be a minimum age for any type of truck licence.
Minimum experience before you can drive those bigger trucks.
Experience is the big thing, for sure.
Let's go to Seaford Meadows. G'day, Jamal, is it?
Yeah, mate. How on route?
Good, thank you. What would you like to say?
Mate, I'm an ex-truckie out of the military for 8 years, plus I was a driver instructor in the military.
Right.
Teaching people how to drive semi-trailers, B-doubles, trains and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But the driving in South Australia is just ridiculous. I mean, people have just tunnel vision. They don't give a shit about other people on the road. They're just worried about getting from A to B. They got nothing to do with other people on the road. And as the last caller said, like, these people coming from overseas, they got experience. They're just, whacked in the driver's seat. And, yeah, especially the B double drivers.
Well, who makes these rules?
I feel sorry for you, Roo, because you're driving at Wakery, and I go to Wakery pretty much every 28 days with my current job. And you just see some ridiculous stuff on the roads. It's atrocious. It really is.
No, it is. Thanks, mate. And I appreciate you ringing in. Let's go to Mitchell Park. G'day, Kate. What have you seen on the roads?
Oh, good morning. I drove to the southeast on the weekend and on the highway, which, I mean, if you go that way, you do know that there is overtaking lanes, but a car overtaking truck and caravan just before the overtaking lanes on a bend.
Oh, no.
Is that the Duke's Highway?
Stupidity.
I think it is.
Yeah.
That's the Duke's.
The Duke's Highway, and there's overtaking lanes every sort of 10.
I know. The roads are safer than ever,
They've
Kate.
improved that road greatly, actually. They have.
Compared to 20 years ago, there was not one overtaking.
People can't, they're impatient for the overtaking lane. They can't wait 5 minutes.
Bloody ridiculous, stupid.
Yeah.
Let's go to Echuca. G'day, Andrew. What have you seen on the roads?
Well, I'm on a Facebook page still called Stop the Carnage, Time for Truckers to be Heard, because we're campaigning about these licensing. The licensing system is disgraceful throughout Australia.
Well, it's too easy to get one.
Yeah. Here in South Australia, for example, you can go from a car licence to a semi-licence single trailer in 5 days. Do a 5-day course called Training in Lieu of Experience and end up with a semi-licence. Hold that semi-licence for 12 months and then you can go and do your multi-combination, which gives you the licence to drive an 80-ton road train or a 64-ton B-double. It doesn't matter. You can have 2 trailers, you can have 3 trailers. You've only got to have 12 months experience in a HC to get that licence.
That's crazy.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew.
Be flying planes
That
next.
is interesting. Let's go to Port Noarlunga. Max, what have you seen on the roads?
G'day. I was driving back from work, just leaving Meadows along Dashwood Gully Road, and just getting into the 100 zone, some idiot decided to pull directly into my lane, had to swerve off into the grass, so he missed me. And then the dude behind him decided to try and overtake as well and nearly hit me.
Oh, my God.
Bloody hell. See, this is the other issue. You can be doing the absolute right thing. You're minding your own business, but 2 other idiots out of control can just about wipe you out. Kane from Meadows, what would you like to say?
Yeah, g'day, guys. Look, I drive, I live in obviously in Meadows. I drive Batunga Road every day. Colleague of mine's in Mount Compass. We drive that road daily, so do a lot of our other colleagues that come from down south to go to Mount Barker. There's a Sheila that drives a Mazda 3, new model. She literally, there are no F's given. She just plants her foot into oncoming traffic, overtaking not just 1 or 2, sometimes 5 or 6 vehicles, buses, the lot. We actually got a description of this bird and her registration plate. We called in to Mount Barker Police Station and I made a report. The honest truth, and not bagging the cops, but the honest truth was they turned to me and said, it is really, really hard for us to police those roads between 6 and 7 a.m. when there's no patrols on those roads.
Doesn't matter. Go and see you. Why don't they go and pay her a
exactly
visit?
right. We gave them all the details possible, mate, I tell you. And so sure enough, we haven't seen her for a little while. Don't know if she's been pinged or not.
Right.
We're hoping she has because she is dangerous.
Yeah, well done, Kane. I think you've done the right thing.
Yeah.
I don't like dobbers, but in that instance,
dobbers, not
you've
dobbers.
got to do that.
When you see them, you want to speed up and get them off the road and give them talking to.
Yeah, for sure.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, seems like
I like Kane. Can we give him something?
Kane can he can go to the Crows and see them take on West Coast this Sunday if he wants to go there, or he can go to see Hoodoo Gurus at the Hindley Street Music Hall. You can buy your tickets at moshtix.com.au.
Triple M's Roo, Dits and Loz for breakfast.
For all your steel supplies, it has to be Centurion Steel. Centurion.com.au.
G'day, it's Tex Walker from the Crows.
Come on.
Tex. Oh, good morning, Tex.
Morning, Dits. You'd be happy, wouldn't you?
Well, we'll get to that. We're here to talk about you.
Bloody robbery.
How far are you allowed to run with the ball?
Depends who you are. Nah, it is what it is.
Probably asking the wrong bloke. I've never seen you run that far.
I'll run fast.
No, but I'm going to stick up for your team here. I said this to earlier this morning. No,
hold on to me seat.
What are you going to say here?
By the letter of the law, they're saying Isaac Rankin, I've measured it, he ran over 20 metres.
24.2.
I'll show you 10 other players on the weekend that ran that and further. And they're not, and that's what the problem is.
It's the inconsistency.
So, yeah, that's right, Loz. Good word. It's
frustrating.
It's frustrating.
Oh, well, we should have.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, didn't. Another opportunity slipped for us.
Are you doing anything wrong in these close games? What happens in your reviews?
We're going to review it today, so I'll have to come back in tomorrow and tell you. But there's always. We've got our process and every team does it when it's a scenario towards the end when you want to close the game out. You go to a certain scenario, and then on the other hand, if you want to try and win it when another team's trying to shut the game down, you try and win it. You go to that scenario. So, yeah, there's always... But the thing with our game is there's so many variables and things change and players move and things like that. So we'll have a little look at it again today and... Shit, I'm getting sick of these.
It must be very frustrating in the rooms with the record. I think it's 4 wins, 11 losses for games under a goal over the last 3 years. Something like that is the stat. So in the rooms, how were you after? You have to be shattered and frustrated.
Yeah, super. Because we obviously didn't start the game well, and then to peg our way back and get to a position where we're in front and we nearly closed it out. It would have been one of our great wins on the road. But we just weren't able to do it. They've got some pretty good players, the Pies.
All right, Isaac Rankin hamstring. Do you know much about it? We're told 3 weeks. What do you know?
Yeah, it'll be probably around 3, give or take a week or 2. So we'll probably not give it a week or 2, but it'll be about 3 to 4 to 5, I reckon.
Okay.
So hopefully he'll be back on the shorter end of the spectrum. But he's in some rare form, that kid. I've said it. Since he's come over, I've been super impressed with what he's been able to bring over to our footy club, but we're going to miss him.
He is now going to be, looks like he's going to be a midfield star. Like he come over as a gun, small forward in the forward line, but now looks like he's going to be one of the gun midfielders of the competition. You would think the way he's progressed.
Yeah, and we've seen what he can do up front, but what he's been able to do in the midfield is pretty scary, so... As much as he loves playing forward, I think he might find himself as more of a midfielder than a forward, Ditz.
Well, that's interesting because you're chasing Elliot Yeo from the West Coast Eagles, who's about to turn 45. Now, your midfield...
What does that make you, 106?
Your midfield, I'm just going to read some names out to you. Tell me if I've left anyone out. Dawson, Rankin, Saligo, Rochelle, Laird, Keys, not in any particular order. What's wrong with that group? Well, you need Elliot Yeo, do you?
Didn't say there's anything wrong with that group. You said that.
No, well, why are you chasing Elliot Yeo?
Well, we've been on the record saying that we're going to be aggressive in trade, and I don't know who we're going to get, but I'd imagine that the footy club are going to be quite aggressive and get some talent in to bolster our team. That's where not inside the 8. We need some talent and depth in our squad, and that's what we'll probably do. I don't know where it sits. I don't get involved in list management, so that's a question for Reedy or.
But in the past, don't clubs often use senior champion players like yourself to go and have a cup of coffee with them and try and convince them? And
no, that's not my job anymore.
Cup of coffee?
Not involved?
Nah, I don't know. Yeah, some clubs do, but some clubs also like to.
Yeah, exactly. Give me 0 here, like your mate over there.
You've been involved in trying to get players to Port Adelaide. Don't make out you're Mr. not know anything about it.
They got you to help out.
Once.
Yeah.
And it backfired badly. It was Bernie Vince.
Was it?
Really?
Yeah.
When Matty Primus was coach.
What a dog act trying
What
to
do you mean a dog act?
Wow,
well, you weren't looking after him, were you?
Pig's bum.
He wore bloody boxer shorts one day and you wanted to send him to Melbourne. I said, well, let's get him to Port Adelaide.
Yeah, you can wear boxers at Port Adelaide.
How'd that conversation go?
Well, I don't.
What did you offer him?
No, I had to get his dad a carton of beer, and that was the negotiation.
Is that all it took to get him to come home?
Well, he didn't come, did he? All I did was get him more money at your club.
Oh,
His manager went, yeah, exactly.
Did you have him shout you after?
No.
Did you buy him a cup of coffee?
I'm still waiting. No, I told you it's a carton of grog.
Oh.
Speaking of coffees, can I just say, Tex, thank you. Like last week after Port beat Geelong, he drew a nice picture of Ken Hinkley on my coffee lid.
He did a certain part,
and then
yeah,
this week, because of Darcy Byrne-Jones kicking the winning goal, he's drawn me a very nice picture of Darcy Byrne-Jones. So I look forward to these caricatures each week.
You're a talented
Very artistic,
artist.
aren't you?
They are. Thank you.
I'm thinking of going down that path post-footy.
You're good at it.
Some art and
Yeah.
arts and
You're
crafts.
very good at it.
How'd your lad go at Auskick? He cracked it the week before. Did
He
he
was
get
better.
back out there?
He good bounce back, Roo.
Oh,
He was,
good.
he was on last night and had to help out a little bit.
Because he
last
copped
night.
a bit of a head-high tackle last week, didn't he?
Oh, I
he
think
didn't
was
like it.
A bit of a bump.
A bump.
And a few
threw
tears.
Threw the, what do they say, the baby out with the bathwater or something.
Well,
Yeah,
these days you
but,
can't be too careful with concussion. You know,
Oh,
you
sling
don't be like a
tackles,
port
did
dog.
you go
You
through
just
the
send him straight
protocol?
It's a big
back out.
thing, Loz. Sling tackles.
Imagine if I had to tell him he was out for 21 days.
Oh, that is happening out there at the moment. The kids are furious.
I reckon I might have been concussed from his mum. If she had to have him for 3 weeks in a row at home on a Monday night. Crikey. But, yep.
Any gags?
Now, hang on, just quickly, West Coast Eagles this week, all of a sudden are playing some good footy, aren't they?
Oh, I watched a little bit of them Sunday night. They were awesome. I think I got a new man crush.
Harley.
Harley Reid.
You and everyone.
He's pretty impressive, isn't he?
exciting.
There's
It's
footage in the change rooms after the game where there's about 5 little kids in there and they started talking to McGovern and Barras and then they saw Harley Reid and they all just went, Harley Reid, Harley Reid, Harley Reid. And they all walked over there and you saw McGovern pat him on the back and just shake his head and go, he is a superstar, this kid.
Oh, I love him, yeah. He's going to do some special things for that footy club and hopefully has a long career that everyone can sit back and really enjoy. So,
All right.
but just 1 week off this week.
Yeah,
You can have a
exactly.
little
Hopefully they
rest.
rest him.
Quite one this week.
Or just go like in the forward pocket or play as a sub or something. But
All right, Tex, leave us with your dad joke,
well,
please.
before I was with Ellie, I had a girlfriend, but she decided to break up with me because I was a compulsive gambler.
Yeah.
And then ever since, all I could think about was how I was going to win her back.
All right. Good on you. Well done. Good luck this week.
Why are you in a golf kit?
I'm having a lesson. My golf's so bad.
That's a waste of money.
Yeah.
Waste of money.
Triple M's Roo, Dits and Loz for breakfast.
It's 7:45 on your Tuesday morning for Triple M, not too far away from playing South Australia's favourite game, the Heaps Good Quiz. How well do you know this great state? Play along after the Rumour Mill for a double pass to the Adelaide Crows this weekend.
AutoCam, real-time video from Automasters. Triple M's Rumour Mill. Triple M's Rumour Mill, Adelaide's most listened to segment. Hear it every day at 7:40 on Roo, Dits and Loz.
Yeah, double pass to Grinspoon up for grabs for the best rumour of the day, and you can text or call in. You can text on 048885 1047. Steve from Burton has texted in.
Ooh.
I have mail that the SA Police are going to put in a pay rise or ask for a pay rise of 25%.
Excuse me?
In the not too distant future.
25%?
That's what he says. I don't know if that means in a year or over 3 or 4 years or... You'd think usually when they go for it, it's over a period of time, but we don't. He hasn't said that here. He said on the back of Sydney Police Force doing the same thing. And
so it's obviously happened there.
Apparently. He said a lot of police are leaving the force, which we've read about.
Yeah, we know. Yep.
Was it 180 or something
like
last year, which is just crazy.
They're
and
trying
I
to
don't blame them.
recruit from the UK again.
How much more dangerous is it to be a copper now than before with knives and
that's right.
mental health, drugs?
Tough job.
It is a tough job. And if you compare to what they, well, we're on it, compare what they get paid, I don't even know what a cop gets paid, maybe 80, 100 grand, I don't know, maybe more. And then there's, other people getting a couple of $100,000 that probably shouldn't be, that we've read about in the paper. So there's, I can understand it. So watch this space. Steve from Burton reckons the police are going to put in for a big pay rise.
All right, I've got a quick anonymous one as well on the text line, Automasters text line. We need to do a bit of background checking on this one too, but a big sporting franchise here in Adelaide could be in financial trouble.
What kind of financial, like that?
Sporting franchise?
Well, one of our teams. Don't know which one.
Of which sport?
Don't know. Just says
Where'd
one
you
of
get
our...
that from the text line?
Yeah,
or?
Automasters text line.
What?
Anonymous.
How big?
Who was that?
Sorry?
AFL or-
Anonymous. Okay.
Well, keep texting in, Anonymous.
Yeah, tell us more.
A big
Don't just leave
SA
us hanging.
sporting franchise?
Yeah.
The whole franchise or just a team, did you say?
Well, it's a team, I guess.
Okay.
I thought Port were going all right.
It's not Port.
Hilarious. It's Rude Hits and Loz on Triple M.
Triple M's Roo, Dits and Loz for breakfast. On Triple M Breakfast.
They don't have Fritz in Sydney. No, Fritz.
It's time for the Heaps Good Quiz.
Okay, let's rip into it. 60 seconds on the clock. The prize is a double to go and see the Crows this weekend. Michael, Woodville South, are you ready to go?
Yeah, all set.
All right, good on you. All right, we're going to start with an easy one here. Question 1. Which Adelaide Crow was controversially pinged for running too far on the weekend?
Isaac Rankin.
Good.
True or false, Kangaroo Island is bigger than the country of Samoa.
True.
It is true.
Yes,
It is true. Good.
Yeah,
Yeah, good.
finish this iconic South Aussie phrase. Heaps what? Heaps.
He's good.
Yeah.
It's good. Who kicked the last goal for Port Adelaide on the weekend?
Darcy Byrne-Jones.
Yes.
The double cut roll originates from Adelaide corner shops. What's its distinguishing feature?
Oh.
No, too slow.
Oh, harsh. Who we got? Brian, the double cut roll originates from Adelaide's corner shops. What's its distinguishing feature?
Oh, 2 cuts, a slice of bread in the middle.
That's it. Well done. Colonel William Light is famous for what?
Mapping out the city of Adelaide planning.
Legendary racehorse Makybe Diva has a statue in which Eyre Peninsula town?
Port Lincoln.
What is the name of the hotel at Sky City Casino in Adelaide?
The precinct.
No.
Bad luck.
No. All right.
This happens every time.
Jeanette from Craigmore.
You're the winner, Jeanette.
Well played, Jeanette.
Do you feel
did
guilty?
really well.
Do you feel like you've earned it?
I think so. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, well done.
You're off to see the Crows take on West Coast Eagles at Adelaide Oval this Sunday afternoon. If anyone out there wants to buy tickets, you can go to ticketek.com.au. Go and see Harley Reid and the West Coast Eagles take on the Crows.
What's the name of the hotel at Sky City?
Eos.
Eos. There you go.
Tough question.
Triple M's Roo, Dits and Loz for breakfast.
You ever been on Temu.com?
No.
Use the app?
No.
Oh.
What is it?
It's like it's an online retailer, and everything is really, really cheap, and it looks fantastic on the website.
Cheap for a reason?
Yes, it's all junk.
Oh.
It's crapola.
Right.
But
I've
people
never bought anything off Temu, but I've seen ads come from somewhere.
It's everywhere. It's like it's everywhere, and some of it.
Give me a comparison to Temu. Is it?
I don't know that I can. I mean,
what's another online shopping?
Amazon.
Does anyone remember
Amazon?
Wish?
Wish.com. It's a bit like Wish. Wish. It's just crap.
You live in
Roo.
a different world to me, Hamish.
Yeah.
So
Well-
what do you get up to online?
Mate, not fit for air.
Did you get through the police check to work here or not?
Police check?
I didn't.
So I know a few people with Temu addictions because it's so cheap.
Temu addictions?
Yeah, you know what it's like, Roo?
Come
Hamish
on.
and I were talking about this yesterday. It's gambling. So essentially, you do 5 Temu orders. 1 in 5, you'll get a really good product, and it'll be cheap as anything.
That's the excitement of
The
opening
other
it.
4 are just absolute nonsense. I mean, like the display picture and what arrives is incredible. That they think that they can get away with selling.
I've
that.
bought 2 things. You reminded me, I've bought 2 things, but I don't think it was called Temu, but I bought 2 things recently that I opened them and threw them straight in the bin.
Really?
And
You
I was
didn't even go
embarrassed.
through the returns?
Didn't even bother.
What were
Well,
they?
one was to stop snoring. And I got this, it's this little thing that you stick up under your, what's the bridge of your nose called under there? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the
septum, thank
yeah.
you. And I
It didn't
opened
work?
It was about 2 millimetres wide. But you've
Wouldn't
seen the
fit.
size of my hooter.
It wouldn't fit
I
on
looked
your-
at it and said,
on the
how does that
beak.
stop you snoring? Seriously.
You are not very.
And it was meant to be a magnet on each end of this thing.
Yeah, and it was
but
just
it
a
would have
piece of
fit.
plastic.
A fly would have had trouble
What was the
fitting
other
it in.
thing?
Loz, this is a bloke who started his shake diet, had a shake, and then stopped like a half an hour later because he was
I was
still
hungry.
hungry. That was it. That was his resilience.
Yeah.
And I recently bought one of those double mouth guards. sides, up, bottom and top, to stop me chomping in my sleep, grinding my teeth.
Yeah.
Well, same thing. I got it out and you had to boil it in hot water and try and mould it and what.
Yeah, because
it was the hardest rubber of it.
mouth guards.
It wouldn't bloody move. I couldn't mould it. It was, and I
What
had
do
it
you
in
think, that
boiling
they just
water.
know what your teeth are shaped
No,
like?
but give me softer rubber that I can at least try and mould.
I'll make you feel better, Dits, because I once bought a desk on the internet, which I thought beautiful, handmade wooden desk, gorgeous, perfect for my aesthetic in my house. And a couple of weeks later, someone arrived with a little box, and I went, "What's this? Is this like the handles that go on the desk?" It was for a dollhouse.
Oh, no.
It was handmade dolls furniture,
my.
and I hadn't read the dimensions properly. I think it was millimetres instead of
fantastic.
centimetres, and yeah, it was expensive for what it was. Yeah.
Does it go with the rest of your furniture or not?
Yeah, my dolls love it. 13353. Have you been done by Temu or Wish.com? What did you order?
Or have you been done by yourself?
Yeah.
My God.
What arrived? And you got done.
Angela, O'Halloran Hill, what did you order?
Hi, guys. I had a look on Facebook, and it was a buy one, get one free, and it was the most amazing cheese platter. They pulled out, had all the knives and everything, and ordered it, and 4 days later, a USB connectors arrived.
What?
What?
What do you mean?
A little round plastic thing I opened up because I looked and I thought, well, that's not the size of 2 cheese platters.
Yeah.
And I opened it up and there were all these little connections for USB.
So you've just ordered the wrong thing.
No. I actually ordered the right thing. So I went back and it had been ordered. And even when I complained, they completely ignored me.
Oh, you got scammed.
I did. But when I looked on the, other people that had ordered, they were saying that they hadn't received it and everything else, and it was just before Christmas. And I thought, great present. So my nephew ended up with that instead.
Oh, a USB connector. Okay, cool.
Let's go to Elizabeth Vale. G'day, Lisa. What have you bought off online?
Morning, guys. A few years ago, they had Collingwood Football Club guitars. And they were some memorabilia, and they were selling them out cheap. So I thought, I'm going to buy this, $80. I thought that'll stand nice in the corner of the lounge room. My partner at the time said, "Don't be stupid, it's not going to be $80. I said, well, that's what it is. So I ordered it. It was 2 inches tall.
It was what?
It was 2 inches tall.
$40 an inch. Good on you, Lisa. Les at Salisbury, what did you buy?
Yeah, g'day, mate. It wasn't me. It was the wife, of course. She's into the Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And she bought this mortar and pestle, and it was about the size of an egg cup.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
How much
so
did
it's a little...
Did she pay
I don't know, mate. I didn't even bother to ask.
Yeah,
just kept looking. No, I don't want to go that far.
Well, let's go to Clearview. Karen, what did you get online?
Hi, guys. I had a very similar story to Angela. I ordered, I believe, the same platter, but I ended up with 2 electric toothbrushes.
Right.
What?
How does this happen?
And I argued the toss for months, called them all manner of names, and I finally got about 80% of my money back, plus the 2 toothbrushes I was able to keep.
Oh, good. Well, you're in front, I think.
What is going on with
You've
this
got clean
company?
teeth anyway.
Let's go to Taparoo. G'day, Rocky. What did you get online?
Howdy, guys. I bought me missus a trial $9.90, some sort of skin cream for her face, I think.
Yeah.
And we worked, and it was $135 if you like the $9.90 thing. We worked out after a while, because I'm a bit of a dumbass when it comes to the bank account, that they'd taken $1,100 out of the bank for about 10 different lots of it.
Rocky.
So, yeah, they done a good job of frigging ripping us off. I'd like to just say, though, the ANZ Bank done a good job of getting me bread back. And just burnt her face anyway.
Oh, no.
Rocky. Oh, God.
Do you
not a good story.
I once bought a face cream online, and what I didn't realise was I was signing up to get it once a month. I just thought I was getting it once off.
Yeah.
And I reckon they sent me, for 2 years, every month this face cream would arrive, and I couldn't figure out how to cancel it.
Yeah.
It was like $50 a month.
Oh, no.
And so I was just giving it away to people. I still have bottles and bottles of it in my drawer. I ended up having to cancel my card because I couldn't figure out it. So if anyone needs some lotion, it does
You're
burn.
banned from the
It does
internet,
burn.
Loz. Stay off the late night purchases, please.
Triple Triple M's Roo, Dits and Loz for breakfast.
Time for us to go. I imagine most kids have just been dropped off at school by now, but for mums and dads listening, what about this prize that we kick off tomorrow?
So exciting.
We did it last year, Roo, and it was so successful.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
I can still remember seeing the faces of the little kids that were involved in this. So what it is if you ring in on Wednesdays for Joe's Jokes, and if you get through, and we have 2 kids every week that get through, the kid plus a mate can come along, plus 2 parents. So for every kid, you get to bring a mate and 2 parents along to the Crows and run out with the team. Now, this is a great experience to run out on Adelaide Oval. The eyeballs and smiles on these kids' faces is... You just can't replace it. So this is a great opportunity. We'll start this tomorrow. We're going to do it every week up until the Sydney game, which is on June the 15th.
Yep.
So... great opportunities for kids of South Australians. If you're Port supporter, you might be able to sneak in if you wear a Crows jumper, but you won't get out there with a Crows jumper on because I'll be there doing a little check.
And that's all thanks to the Adelaide Crows there and Bendigo Bank, the Better Big Bank. So,
that's
massive
right.
thanks to those guys.
And also, if you missed it earlier this morning, we asked Tex Walker all about the potential trade of Elliot Yeo to the Crows.
We've been on the record saying that we're going to be aggressive in trade, and I don't know who we're going to get, but I'd imagine that the footy club are going to be quite aggressive and get some talent in to bolster our team. We're not inside the 8, and we need some talent and depth in our squad, and that's what we'll probably do.
You can get more of that text chat on the Listener app today. That's it for us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Have a great day.